Today we're talking about lesson 8.6, law of sines and cosines. Going to be a pretty challenging lesson. Um, it's it's kind of really plugging in a lot. And can you use your calculator? Can you plug in, use your calculator in the order of operations? But there is a lot that go into these problems. So pay close attention. And we'll get through it. So law of sines and cosines are objectives. Use the law of sines to solve triangles and use the law of cosines to solve triangles. So using trig functions to solve non-right triangles. Non-right triangles. So to this point, the trig that we've done, we've used right triangles. Okay, well now we can use trig functions to solve non-right triangles. Given any triangle with two angle measures and one side measure, the law of sines may be used to solve that triangle. So anytime you have two angles and one side, any combination of that, you can use the law of sines to solve that triangle. So what is the law of sines? The law of sines states if triangle ABC has lengths A, B, and C representing the lengths of the sides opposite the angles with measures A, B, and C, then sine of angle A over A equals sine of angle B over B equals sine of angle C over C. So you can set up this proportion. This is a proportion. Okay, where all of these ratios are equal. The sine of the angle over the opposite side is equal to the sine of the other angles over the opposite side. So what does that look like? Let's set this up here. So we have two angles. We have angle A, we have angle C, and we have one side. So we have two angles and one side. We have angle, angle, and a side. Angle, angle, side. So two angles, one side. So we can use law of sines. So let's set up a proportion here. So let's just write out the law of sines. So is it sine of angle A over lowercase a equals sine of angle B over lowercase b equals sine of angle C over lowercase c. So sine, what angle do we have? Do we have angle A? Sine of angle A is 97. Sine of 97 over the side that's opposite angle A is 16. So sine 97 over 16 equals, now we've got angle C. So let's do this part. We don't have any information about angle B. If you're looking at the picture, angle B, we don't have any information about that angle. We also don't have the side that's opposite it. So we're not going to use angle B or that side. So let's use angle C since we do have angle C. Sine of angle C, well, sine of angle is 21 degrees over the side that's opposite C is x, which is what we're looking for. Okay, well, we can just cross multiply and then solve this proportion. So cross multiplying, you would get x times sine of 97 equals 16 times sine of 21. All right, so on those scientific calculators, you guys are familiar with using these at this point. You'll take sine of 21, get the decimal for that, multiply it by 16. No need to round until the final steps of these problems. Let's make a note of that. No rounding till end. Maybe we can count till end. Right, so sine of 21 times 16, that gives us, and again, I'm just keeping this all in my calculator. That's the nice thing about these scientific calculators. You can keep these decimals and just carry the answers to problems. So I'm getting something along that line for sine of 21 times 16. And over here, I've got x times sine of 97. So I need to get rid of sine of 97 by dividing by sine of 97. So that gives me x equals, so I have that 5.733887193. I've got that in my calculator, and I'm dividing that by sine of 97. Punch that into my calculator. I've got x equals 5 point, nearest tenth, so I've got 7. So nearest tenth is 1 decimal place. I'll be rounding that 7 up to an 8. X equals 5.8. All right, so again, the reason we didn't need to use B, we didn't have angle B or the side opposite it. We had angle A and its opposite side, so the proportion set up nicely that you could solve for X. Okay. So again, that's an example of law of sines. We'll get another example here. This one, again, we've got two angles, angle H, angle J. And we've got one side is known, okay? So instead of using A, B, and C, we'll use H, J, and K as this problem does. And we'll write out the proportion for law of sine. So sine of angle H, I don't need for parentheses quite yet. When we substitute, we'll use parentheses. So sine of angle H over lowercase h equals sine of angle J over lowercase j equals sine of angle K over lowercase k. All right, so plugging in now, we're trying to solve our proportion. We've got sine of angle H is 45 degrees over the side opposite H, that's X, so that's part of the proportion we're going to need to use. Sine of angle J, we do have that. Oh, we have angle J, excuse me. Sub that in, substitute that in there, so 73. We don't know lowercase j. We're not sure what the side opposite j is. It's unknown. So maybe we won't be using that part of the proportion. Well, let's see if we've got enough information about k. We have sine of, well, here we don't have angle k. That's unknown. We don't know what that angle is. But we do have the side that's opposite angle k. We have 10. So we have some missing information here, more than just x. So the easier route to go here is going to be to find angle k. Well, why is that? Well, we know angle H plus angle J plus angle K, those all being angles in a triangle. Yikes. Switch there. Those all being angles here. In a triangle, we know they should all add to 180. So 45 plus 73 plus angle K, those should all add to 180. So we subtract 45, we subtract 73, we get the angle K is 62 degrees. Okay, so we can plug that in, and now we have enough information with sine of angle 45 over x equals sine of 62 over 10. We don't need to use that middle part again. Okay, so no need for that part there. And now we just cross multiply and solve the rest of it. I'll leave that for you guys. And if you plug that in on your calculator, you're going to get 10 sine 45 divided by sine of 62. You should get that x is 8. Point to the nearest tenth, so 1 decimal place, Actually, that would be an 8.0. Okay. So that should be your solution for number 2, example 2 there. So those were 2 examples of using the law of sines. This point, I don't want to get into using law of cosines yet. So since this video is getting kind of long and it's a DLD, and this could be challenging, I'm going to put a break on it now. Wasn't planning on this, but we'll finish 8.6 on Monday. We'll do the law of cosines on Monday. And so your homework assignment's going to be a little different than originally planned. Your homework will be page 592. This will be your 8.6 part 1 homework. Page 592. Yeah, let's do 1 through 4. And that should be a good bit of practice. 1 through 4. Yeah, that'll be a good bit of practice. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good weekend. Best of luck here on the DLD.